Hello there, my fellow humans. Welcome back. So today we're going to talk about change and why change happens so slowly, or at least it seems that way. So before I go into that, for the sake of explaining, I'm going to differentiate between good change and bad change. Bad change, I'm going to start with bad change. Bad change is the one that we don't want, that we don't like. It usually happens fast. It usually happens out of nowhere. It usually provokes a very strong emotional response within us. Some examples of bad change would be you get fired, your lover leaves you, breaks up with you, gets divorced, you lose something. You lose something that you held on to, something that was very dear to you. No matter if it was personal, career, death is usually a big one, death of a loved one, a pet. Basically, it's some kind of loss on some kind of level. And I would argue that bad change is still good change, but it happens usually when you've been holding on to something that you were stagnating in, something that you were using more than likely as a dependency, something that was stopping you from going forward. So let's say you were in a job that you really hated and you were not happy there. There's so many examples of that. And you just stayed there only because you, in your mind, that was the only way that you felt like you could earn a living, support yourself. Let's say if a partner left you, once again, there's something that you were holding on to, some kind of relationship that you were not happy in, you were not getting what you wanted, and basically you were just staying in it because your mind, once again, was telling you that maybe you can't do better, maybe this is it, maybe this is your cross to bear, maybe, basically you were stagnating. If you get disease is another one that we would qualify as bad change. Disease is an interesting one, guys. I'm not an expert on the disease part. And the way I see disease is, I look at everything energetically. So disease means that energy needs to flow freely through the body on all levels, the cell level, organs levels, everything. It needs to flow. Disease is like the last call to show that there's some kind of stagnation in the body. Something is not moving freely. The energy is not moving freely. So your body is basically, initially, it's always kind of subtle. Initially it happens a little bit, then a little bit more, and then right away you're like, damn, you got a diagnosis. And but the body's always trying to get your attention. And so when disease happens, that means it's like the last straw where it's like, okay, we need your attention, buddy. You need to focus on this. So as far as what it means, why you have this disease, there's different people that have written their take on why disease happens and what each organ means. So if you look at it from a metaphysical point of view, psychosomatic point of view, you can basically see, depending on what organ is affected, you get to see what's going on there. Where are you stagnating? So some of the big ones that I know, anytime there's ideas with the throat, that means you're not expressing yourself. You're not speaking up. You're basically holding back. If there's ideas with knees one I know is like pride, a lot of pride. So basically it's like the idea of like, it would kill you to get on your knees in front of somebody because there's too much pride, too much whatever. It would be something like that. It's very subtle. That's why I don't know all of them, but there's some like Louise Hay, she's really big on that. Cancer is a lot of anger that has been there for a long, long time, and it's basically eating you from the inside. Ideas of sexual organs or urinary tract organs, all of that has to do with, especially for women, the idea of like self-love, your sexuality, you as a woman. Do you love yourself as a woman? On the inside, subconsciously, do you love yourself? Because your body will show you that. I had a lot of issues with urinary, all that stuff. But anyway, so if you're interested in that, you can look into that. You can see causes for diseases and explore that. It's a different way to look at it, not the medical way, I'm not a big fan of like the idea that, well, this runs in my family and I'm supposed to get it, or, my doctor said so, I'm more like metaphysical. To me, disease is created by your thought patterns. and your thought patterns cause stagnation in your body. So let's say there's something that you're holding on to, and that's gonna keep the energy from flowing freely. In order to get your attention, boom, disease comes. That's how I see it. All right, so those are the bad changes. And the idea of all of them is, or let's say you're always, I'm sure you've all had it, you're really busy. Let's say you have a lifestyle where you're always running around, you never relax, you never rest, you're always just running around. I have to do this, I have to do that, I have to do this. Sometimes disease will be a way to just basically just make you stop, literally. You will literally create a situation where you, it could be as dramatic as a car wreck where you really can't move. So it's like the only way to stop you is literally to just say, buddy, you can't move, lay down and relax. So anytime your attention needs to be turned inward, it will happen. Disease will usually happen to try to get your attention. Because, when we're in pain, that's when we start saying, God, please help me. I'll never do this again. Please cure me. Anytime there's some kind of pain, it always gets our attention and directs that attention on the inside. We start asking questions. What's happening with me? So the idea of the bad change, I said that it's actually good because when you look at it years later, you realize, wow, I'm so glad that happened to me. You look at it as, I'm so glad I got fired from that job because I found something better with more money, better hours. I'm happy. I like it. I love to go to work. Or let's say you had a painful relationship that broke. Once again, you're like, I'm so glad that he or she left because I found this person and now I'm happy and I'm content and everything's great. So I would say if you look at all the bad changes that happened, you will see that they ended up being good. They ended up being for the better. So that's bad change. If we talk about good change, the reason it happens slowly is because it's all about how much of it you can handle. And of course, I'm going to explain it energetically from an energetic, metaphysical point of view, what's happening. So you guys know that you are light. Literally inside of you, you are light. You're a spark of light. If we were to explain, this is your suit. This is your avatar, some people call it, for this incarnation. This is the suit, the body that you chose to do what you're going to do here. Inside of you, there's light. You can call it your soul, whatever you want to call it, but it's a piece of light. And all of us combined, we make up Source, God. All of us, all galaxies, all universes, everything is light. And when we all come together, you make up Source, God. So if you guys haven't heard it before, but basically through all of us, in all universes, galaxies, species, God gets to experience itself through all of us. So the way it happens is because you're energy, because you're light. So when you come down to this incarnation, you choose your body. And of course, to make this game interesting and fun, you're gonna choose obstacles. Let's call them obstacles. Some people call them karma. I call them like a baggage. You're basically, when we talk about like a diamond in the rough, you take the diamond that you are, that shiny, bright diamond, every one of you, there's a light in every one of us. Even in the person that you hate the most, even in the biggest villains, even the people that we just can't stand, everybody has light in them. However that light is expressed, it's up to the individual. But the beauty is that God, Source, is unconditional. So everybody gets to be however they want to, and through all of that, God gets to know itself. So it's like we're all gathering experience, and then we bring it back home and just say. So we all, going back to that diamond idea. So you come in, and to make this game interesting, you kind of pile on stuff to yourself. You almost cover this diamond that you are, this light that you are. And the light is different, because we're all unique. We're all the same, we're all one, but at the same time, we're all very unique because every one of us has a particular frequency. And so you cover yourself up. Some of us are covered up really thick with lots of layers, beliefs. I look a lot of like past lives, all your baggage that you're bringing with you, all the things that you did not resolve before, all the things that you did not experience maybe as much as you wanted to, or maybe experience things that you went to the extreme with. You're bringing all to you, and you say, okay, you know what? I'm going to take all these bags with me, and I'm going to come in, and I'm going to live. And the point of this journey on Earth is to basically take all those, peel all those layers off to expose that beautiful diamond, to expose that bright light that you are. And you hear that a lot when people say, oh my God, you're glowing, you're so bright, because literally we're all light. The more covered up you are, the more you're sitting in your limitations, the pain, the suffering, the darker you are, the dimmer you are, all right? I think I mentioned that in one of my astrology videos. The movie Soul, if you haven't seen it, the Disney one, or Pixar, there is the point where you see the little soul, you know, the little light, and it's all covered by this like heavy, scary thing that's just walking around brooding. That's kind of how we are. But inside of us, there's a beautiful, bright crystal thing. So anyway, so you come in, and as you peel off these layers, as you let go of all these limitations, as you let go of your beliefs, as you transform, ideas that you, how can I say it? Whatever is limiting you, let go of this belief, let go of this, transform this, heal that, bring up this, do this. You're gonna release yourself. You're gonna be brighter. You're gonna be more energetic, lighter. So when I talk about change, change is energy. Change is usually new energy. So the reason change takes a long time, the good change, is because you aren't ready for it. Energetically, you would not be able to sustain it. It would literally blow your mind, literally. And a good example of that is, let's say your soul idea, your whole self, your isness, you. It's so concentrated energetically because it's so pure, it's all love, it's so bright, that if you were to put all of it in the body, in the physical body with all its limitations, your body would literally burst because it couldn't handle all of that. That's why it has to happen slowly. You know, as you get brighter, you get brighter things in your life, you know. So the idea is that when we talk about examples of good change, so we say, man, I want this kind of partner in my life. This is my dream woman. This is my dream man. We all have it. We all have this ideal partner that we wish for. Another example would be a job, ideal job. You know, some of us want more money. Some of us want a better car. You know, we all have these desires and wishes, and they all mean change because it's something different than what we're experiencing now. The change is because it would overwhelm you, your synapses, your brain, your neurons, literally it would burst. Everything has to happen slowly. It's almost like preparing you. So let's say you don't get the perfect partner that you want, you might get a trial one. And the more you accept whatever's in front of you, the more you accept whatever you created for yourself, that preparation idea, you know, these little trials, the more you accept that, then you're getting closer to what you really want. Because if you truly got what you really wanted right now, you wouldn't be able to handle it energetically. And here's why. Let's say some examples. Let's talk about the love idea. You know, the ideal partner, the ideal lover that we want. If I gave you your ideal partner today in front of you in your reality, you would sabotage it. I've done it. Was he an ideal partner for me? I don't know. But it was something good, it was something nice, it was something different than what I had. But at that time, I couldn't accept it. I couldn't accept an easier life. I couldn't accept more fun, you know. I used to complicate things a lot. When I was younger, I used to complicate, and I used to just expect the worst and always. So if I gave you that ideal partner, it would blow your mind away. And here's how it would manifest. Let's say it's a man. He's great, he makes a lot of money, he brings you flowers, he's great in bed, he's awesome, he's exactly what you've always wanted. You get him, ladies, and you're gonna fuck it up. And here's how. All your insecurities, all your little crap that's sitting there dormant would come up to the surface, and you would feel it, and you would get an anxiety in yourself. You would get so uncomfortable, you would literally be like, because all your fears would come up. Why? Because it's new energy. You know, if you look at it in physical form, it's a partner, it's a person. Energetically, it's new energy. So think of it like this. Your body is operating at a certain frequency of your energy. You know, you're sitting there, you have your limiting beliefs, your ego mind, everything's good, comfortable, it's your comfort zone. Even if you're not happy in it, even if you're whatever, it's your comfort zone. And your mind is like, okay, we know how to handle this, we know how to do this, we're good. New energy comes in. The ego mind right away is like, holy shit, how are we gonna handle that? Because right away it's like, we gotta make it comfortable again. We gotta make it to where we can exist in this environment. So right away, all your little fears, all your little insecurities, everything that was sitting there dormant comes up to the surface. So once again, you become jealous out of nowhere. Let's say you were never jealous before, and now you're like, okay, who's here with? What are you doing? Who's texting you? Who's calling you? Where are you going? Can I come with you? Why can't I come with you? Are there going to be any women out there? That's one manifestation. Another manifestation would be, you would be insecure about your physical. If there's some kind of beliefs about your body that you're not even aware of, when something like that comes in, they're all going to come up. You're going to start comparing yourself, because the idea here is that you're afraid to lose this amazing thing in your life. In this case, it's represented by a partner. Same thing goes for guys. Let's say it's a woman that you're just like, holy shit, this is what I've wanted all my life. So all the insecurities that you didn't think you had before, but they were there. It's just that you were so comfortable. You know, it was like calm. There was calmness, and everything was sitting where it is. Think of it like as a deep ocean. You know how the dust settles, or you know, when you churn up the waters, you know, all this stuff comes to the surface. So another representation could be ideas of the body. Let's say you're always like, yeah, I'm cool in myself. Boom, you get the partner that you want. Right away, you're like, shit, maybe I need to tighten my my body a little bit more. Maybe you know, right away you assume your mind comes in and wants to like control everything so that it can get comfortable again. Your ego mind will always want to make sure that you're comfortable again, because that keeps it comfortable and safe. Ego always wants to be safe. So it's always going to come in, and based on your beliefs, based on how you see things, how they need to be, you're going to try to mold it and change it to make it comfortable again. So ego mind's going to start saying, damn, well, maybe he likes bigger boobs. Well, I don't have big boobs. Shit, maybe he likes different hair, maybe. And you start thinking, and your mind starts telling you these scary stories, and you start changing yourself. You start changing yourself physically. You start questioning, well, what does he like? Does he like this? Does he like that? Meanwhile, the guy or the girl that you met probably loves you for how you are, because here's the key, guys. You attracted that person in your life because of how you were, because you were ready to receive that new energy. But right away, because you're so afraid to lose it, because you don't think it's ever going to happen again, because humanity, we're so used to suffering, we're so used to things being difficult and tough, and you got to work for it and earn it and struggle, that when something good happens, right away we're like, holy shit, I better take it and hold it like this and not show it to anybody. And that's how you sabotage it. That's how you kill it. So going back to the insecurity, so you start changing yourself. You start changing yourself physically because you think that's what that partner wants to see. You start changing your personality because you once again think that maybe that's what he wants. Maybe, let's say it's a business guy and he's very busy and he's always surrounded by women that are business. You're like, damn, maybe I need to be like that. Maybe that's what he likes. So you start changing the perfection of you in order to make that person want you or stay with you. Because right away when something comes in, we want to take it and lock it away. That's one way. So you kill it. Your jealousy comes out, your insecurities come out, you start changing yourself, you're not being yourself. You know, that's why like when people date, when they first meet, they're like, oh my God, I just love you. Right away, I know you had moments when in the first night, you're like, I just love you. I just love you. I feel it. I don't care if I haven't known you in this lifetime. I love you. You feel it. And then you enjoy it and you love it and it's awesome. And then fear comes in. Shit. I can't let this go. I can't lose this. So then you start changing. Both partners start changing. They start changing for each other, and then they fuck it up. And then they start fighting. Jealousy. What are you doing? Why didn't you text me? We become needy. All the shit in us that was sitting there dormant comfortably comes up and fucks it up. And then you break up, and then you're like, all right, all men are dogs and all women are bitches. But you are the one that did that. You are the one that killed that change that you wanted. That's why I would even say that humanity, we say that we want something, but at the end of the day, we're much more comfortable being in that limbo, being in that waiting stage of like hoping and wishing and just kind of saying, yeah, I want this, knight in shining armor, or I want this. But at the same time, it's not that we want that. We actually like where we are, because where we are, we can control it. We have control over it. We feel comfortable about it. Another good example of sabotage, if we talk about career, let's say you get a job that you dreamed about, a position that you were like, finally, there's more money, it's more this. Right away, fear comes in. Okay, we can't lose this. Because your ego mind will always say, it always is going to come in from the position of, this is nice, we love how this feels, we cannot lose it. So we have to do everything in our power to hold on to it. And that's how you kill it. And because the key is, guys, is to be completely like nonchalant. To be like, okay, because here's the key. If you got this, what makes you think that you're not going to get something amazing again? You know, always remember that. The train, even if one train leaves, there's another one that's going to come to the station. Even if you sabotage one relationship, there's another guy that's going to come, or girl. Even if you sabotage one opportunity, there's always another one. You're never late. You're never fucked up. You're never failing. You know, it's almost like there's so much freaking time. You have nothing but time. Don't worry about your age. Don't worry about how much time you have left. Don't worry about anything. Just freaking be. And don't worry, because there's always going to be a train that's going to come to the station for you. Because you are loved. Because in the end, you're going to attract it to yourself. Because you deserve it. In the end, you deserve it. So going back to the career example, let's say you get the job that you always dreamed about. And you're so excited and you're psyched. And right away, you're like, fuck. All right, I cannot lose this position. If I lose this, I lose the money. That means I can't have that apartment that I always wanted. I can't have the car that I always wanted. So you start changing. You start changing yourself into what you think your boss wants you to be, your co-workers. And once again, you change, you fuck it up. Then, because you're changing, you're not being yourself. And the stuff that makes you awesome is when you're being yourself. That's what makes you creative. That's what makes you fearless. That's what makes you have great presentations, great ideas, because you're free. That's where the beauty is. When you start changing, you're not being yourself. That means your ideas are not as creative, your presentations are not as good, your creativity is not flowing, and then your boss is like, well, what happened? I thought I hired this amazing dragon of a person, and now you're just boring. Where's all the ideas? Because you shut it down because you're afraid to lose the situation you're in. Once again, if it happens, don't worry about it. If you lose it, there's going to be another opportunity around the corner. We're not limited to just one thing, all right? We're not limited to just one soulmate, guys. I know that's a big one, because we're all like, soulmate. There's so many soulmates, guys. We're all soulmates, okay? Because if you fuck it up, are you punished for the rest of your life to live in loneliness? No. There's going to be another one. And you might even think, damn, this one's even more of a soulmate. You know why? Because you love yourself more. So you attract a lover that loves you more. And he's cool, and you're cool, and then you both have fun. A great example of the career sabotaging it is you see young athletes, you see young guys, good guys coming in, they get a huge contract with the NFL, NBA, and because it's so much, because you literally have so much excitement right away, you're like, the worthiness in you, that idea of like, am I worthy of this? On the conscious level, of course you're like, yeah, I'm worthy of everything. I'm worthy of $1 million. But subconsciously, because of all the limiting beliefs you have within you, because of all the programs that are running subconsciously, because of all the baggage you brought with you, that worthiness is always going to sabotage. It's always going to say, no, you don't deserve it. You have to work for it. It cannot be this easy. It cannot be this perfect. Humanity is always going to choose the hardest route, because that's how we've been doing it. Now we're shifting. Now we have the opportunity to see that there's another choice. We can do things differently. They can come easy. Money can come easy. It can be easy. Love can be easy. So you see these young athletes, they sabotage it. They can't handle all that new energy that comes in. They can't handle it. So it destroys them. So they get caught, with some kind of scandal, something with drugs, alcohol, domestic battery, whatever. Boom, career killed. Nothing wrong with it. It's experience. Don't worry. That guy or girl is going to attract another opportunity, because opportunities, they never end. What else? So those would be the big ideas. Another one is money. We all want money. We're all like, man, if only I had money. If I had a suitcase full of money, that would solve all my life's problems. And here I'm going to say, if you did have a suitcase full of money, it would create more problems for you. Because if there's no suitcase full of money in your reality, that means energetically you're not a match to it, because it would blow your circuits away. You cannot handle that change that would come in with that $1 million. Prime example, people who win lotteries, majority of them end up either on the news for some kind of, they killed themselves or somebody killed them. They couldn't handle that freedom and all of that new energy that came in. So why? Let's think about it. Why? Because you're going to say, well, of course I can handle $1 million. That's easy. I get it. I go put it in the bank. I go shopping. Let's say you're holding a ticket, a lottery ticket, and let's say it hit. Your mind, because new energy is coming in, $1 million is a whole new different life. It's a new place to live, maybe a new country to live. It's a better car. It's a better everything, better clothes, everything. It's a complete overhaul of your comfort zone. So the mind right away is like, holy shit, all right. You're going to start getting ideas of fear, anxiety. Okay, what if I lose that ticket? What if somebody finds out, kills me, steals my ticket? What if I show up to the window in Newark? No, not Newark, New Jersey. I live in New Jersey. I don't know what the capital is, where you go in to redeem your lottery ticket. What if I show up and they say it's wrong? What if they show up and they say it's a mistake? Then let's say you get the money. You're like, okay, where am I going to put it? Because ideally, even if you put it in the bank, you're still sitting there like, fuck, I wish I could have this money right now, right here in this room, under my mattress, so I can feel safe, so I know that it's with me. Because your mind is always going to want to be safe. Your ego mind is always want to keep you in bounds because it can control that comfort zone. Okay? Anything out of bounds, ego mind goes nuts. Anxiety comes up. Over here, that's where I feel it. It's like, you can't breathe. You're like, holy shit, because the fears are coming out. So you're sitting there like, okay, money. So then you're like, okay, then you're worried about your relatives. You're worried about, once again, you're worried about somebody killing you. That's always a big one. Somebody finding out, catching me in the middle of the night when I'm coming back from a walk and killing me. All of those fears come up. So that's why I say, if it's not in your reality, you're not energetically ready for it. It would destroy you, literally. And it's nothing wrong, guys. It's nothing wrong. Sometimes it would take a whole lot of self-love to accept that change. You see it with celebrities, people that get really famous really quickly overnight. A lot of times it happens so fast. You got to have a lot of self-love and a lot of like breathing to say, I deserve it. I'm worthy of this. I'm worthy to have this much money. I'm worthy to have all these people loving me. I'm worthy to have a whole different life. But it's hard, guys. It's hard because your mind will right away come in and say, no. It's kind of, if you think about it, a lot of us, let's say, want to be famous. But I tell you what, it's not even about the money. It's about the idea of a bunch of people looking at you. You walk into somewhere and let's say everybody in the room, let's say it's a big room, everybody's looking at you and saying, oh my God, you're so awesome. I love you so much. It's a very uncomfortable feeling, guys. Very uncomfortable. Because you're like, holy shit, because all that love that's coming to you, energetically, you have to be able to handle it. You have to be calm and be like, thank you. And not even thank you. Don't even say thank you. Just be like, yeah, cool. I deserve this because I am love. So love is reflected back to me. So I don't want to say be careful what you wish for. Wish for it. Dream about it. There's nothing wrong with that because the things that you want, a lot of times, is what's coming. It is coming. But you have to just let it come to you in the perfect timing. If you're dreaming of a villa in Italy, I am, accept it and say, I would love to live in Italy one day in a villa, one of those Italian villas, with lemon trees around it. Accept it and say, I would love that. And then just let it come. And right away, your mind's going to come in and say, all right, we got to earn money for it. Who the fuck's going to buy this for us? How are we going to pay for it? Don't worry about that. Because your mind is limited. Your mind only knows from the past that in order to get this, I need to make this much money. But the universe is beautiful in that sense. So the unknown, you can't even think of ways of how things can come into your reality. So you're probably going to ask me, okay, Svet, all this talk about change, how do I get what I want? How do I get that change? The fastest way to get the change you want is to accept exactly where you are. Because that is a creation of you. Everything in your reality is a creation of you. The car you're dreaming about, the man you're dreaming about, the woman you're dreaming about, the job, the money, it's all a creation of you in the future. So in order to get that, you have to accept what you created yourself right now. Even if you don't like it, because your mind is the one that's yelling and saying, I don't like this, this sucks, I wish I could just fucking leave. But on the soul level, your soul is ecstatic because it's experience, because the soul created this. So if I'm denying this, I'm denying my own creation. I'm basically spitting in my own face. So on the soul level, it's great, it's experience, but the mind is the one that's hurting, suffering, judging, criticizing, separating itself from things. So accept wherever you are, even if you are somewhere in Africa or somewhere in Russia or somewhere in the North Pole, wherever you are, whatever situation you're in, whoever the people around you are, accept them as your creation. I say it all the time. You don't like it, say, I fucking hate this, but you know what? I'm accepting it. I created this. They're in my reality. Let me make the best of them. You want change? Make the best of where you are. I don't care what the situation is. Don't do what you don't want to do. Speak up. Make a different choice. When I say accept it, I don't mean do what they want you to do, whoever's around you. I mean, don't fight against it. If they want to argue with you, don't. Stop and say, I'll see you later. If they want to tell you what to do, say, hey, thanks. I'll see you later, but don't fight. Don't argue. Don't try to prove that they're wrong. Don't try to say, no, you don't know. I know. Don't. Trust your own truth. That's why the reason we like to argue so much with one another is because we are not convinced of our truth. Because if I am cool with what I believe, and everybody has the right to see the world they want to see it, what I believe is my truth. What you believe is your truth. Nobody's wrong. Nobody's right. It's just your truth. You're allowed, because you're creation, because you're part of source, you're part of God, you're a sparkle of light. You're allowed to have your own view on everything. And you don't have to prove it to others. And you don't have to change their opinion. The reason we fight and argue with each other is because we inside are not sure of what we believe in. So we need validation from the outside that if I change this person's mind, then I feel good about myself, because that means my truth is the truth. Let it go. Whatever you believe, you believe. If you believe the earth is flat, let the earth be flat. If you believe in astrology, beautiful. If you believe in tarot, beautiful. Just whatever you believe in. You don't need to, convince others of that, just so you can prove to yourself, your mind. Once again, everything it revolves around the ego mind. Everything. Your mind is the one that needs proof. Your mind is the one that says, if I can convince this, and this one, especially the ones that are very stubborn, then I'm good, then I'm smart, then I'm wise. But your wisdom, your intuitive, your whole self, it doesn't need proof. It already knows. It's my truth. I don't have to prove it, and I don't have to argue with anybody about it. I just walk away. I say, I love you, I gotta go. All right, guys? But once again, if you are arguing, that's fine. Eventually, we all get tired. It all comes a point when we get tired of doing what we've been doing, and then we're like, all right, I'm ready for change. So yeah, accept wherever you are, whatever situation you're in. You're never lost, you're never broken, you're never off course. You're always exactly where you need to be, because you set it up every step of the way. So even if you're somewhere where you don't want to be, just say, fuck it, I'm gonna make the best of it. I'm gonna come in, say hi to everybody. Hi, how are you doing? So happy to have you in my life. It's hard, it's so hard. But if you swallow the pride, because the pride comes from the ego mind again, because like I said, your soul is ecstatic in every freaking moment. It's like, yes, I get to experience this, and then this, and then this. And if you separate yourself and just say, it's all experience, it's all a freaking video game, we're all players here with different suits, let's make the best of it. So yeah, damn, 34 minutes. Okay, I feel like I want to say something, but I think that's it, guys. So change is always going to come. It's up to you how much you handle it. And the last thing that I'm going to close with is, when change does show up, when an opportunity comes up and you know it's exciting because it sets your heart on fire, you accept it. You don't try to earn it. You don't try to even thank for it. That's another thing. All of us are like, thank you, thank you. You don't need to thank so much. You say it once, and then you say to yourself, I deserve this. I created this for myself through this person. So there's no need to just be like, oh my God. You don't need to return back any favors. You don't need to return back any gifts. Accept them because they're you. They're a reflection of you. They're your love coming back to you. But most of us, we don't accept. If somebody wants to give us something, if somebody wants to give us some food or maybe something they made, we're like, no, it's okay, I'm good. Boom, you shut it down. You say no once, twice, 3 times, you can't get that suitcase full of money because you're not accepting a simple freaking gesture from another. First of all, you're denying them the idea of giving you a gift. And number 2, you're denying yourself the freaking beauty and love that you are. So accept it. All right? Accept every little thing that comes in your reality, every gift. You don't have to return it back. You don't have to thank so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Don't apologize either. You know, there's a lot of us that go always, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. You're not a piece of shit. You're not a worthless something that you have to apologize for your existence. You are awesome. You're fucking light. And if you're cussing, don't apologize either. Because sometimes a cuss word is needed to make a point. Okay? So yeah, you're light. You're awesome. You're part of God. You're part of the universe. Enjoy it. Accept all the gifts that come to you. And the more you accept the gifts that come to you, the bigger the gifts get. So if an opportunity is in front of you, a new man, a new job opportunity, ability to go somewhere, some money, accept it and say in your mind or out loud, yeah, I deserve this. I'm worthy of this. I'm worthy. I don't have to return the favor. I don't have to do anything for this. I just accept it because it's my love coming back to me. Okay? All right, my friends, this is it for today. Big hugs, big kisses to everybody. I love you. That's it. Ciao. Surprise. One more thing, guys, that I forgot to mention. So when I talked about light and the light within you, it's a percentage. When we're incarnated here, we come in with a certain percentage of light that we can handle. The rest is going to be ego. The rest is going to be the baggage that you bring with you. Okay? So if somebody were to measure that, it is possible to measure it. I don't think we can do it on Earth. And the only ones that would be able to do it, I think eventually would be the quantum physicists. Those guys could work with these tools. When spirituality is combined with science, then we'll be able to measure all these things. It's going to be super cool. And a lot of you watching this are probably going to be the ones that are going to take us there. So thank you for that. Now, when I talk about, the percentage. But if another species that's more advanced than us, they can measure that. So when they look at us as humanity, they can measure us and say how much percentage of light is within each one of us, and the rest is ego. And the whole collective, they can see how much light is on Earth. If you watch spiritual videos, if you're in the spiritual community, you hear that a lot. Like, what's the vibration on Earth? How much light is on Earth? And then the rest of it is ego, darkness. But don't look at it as bad. Here's the key. When I say ego, I don't mean bad. Ego is a part of this game, guys. It's a construct. The more you love it, the better friend it's going to be to you. So ego is needed because it makes this game interesting. The more you let go of the ego, and if you haven't watched my video about ego, the last one that I did, a general idea would be ego is all the baggage you bring with you, other lifetimes, your beliefs, all the programs that are running subconsciously, how you sabotage yourself, all the little, ego can take many forms. If you want to know more, watch the video. But basically, the more you let go of it, the more you transfigure these things, transform them, let them go, the more light you can contain in this body. Because if all of your light came down, like if you incarnated full light, your physical body could not hold it. It would literally burst. So slowly, you're letting go more ego. Every day it's happening. Every day you're more. So don't ever be disillusioned to think that you're failing or you don't know how to do this or you're lost. You're not. You're exactly where you need to be. It's happening without you knowing. Because if you knew it, you'd probably try to fuck it up. So don't worry about it. You're fine. Every day you're more and more. You're letting go more of the ego. The best way to let go of the ego is to do the opposite of what your mind tells you, especially if it's something to do with fear. But that's for the brave ones. That's the ones who have balls. Do the opposite. Change your routine. Change everything. And then you'll see how your life changes. But that's scary. But if you want to do it, do it. It's a great experiment. You're not going to fuck anything up. You'll see how your life changes. But for the rest of us, it's slower. It happens slower, So you have almost like little, not trials, but like you'll track the situation and you see how you handle it. Do you handle it from ego perspective or more love perspective? If more ego, you stay the same in a way, You change a little bit, but you're still same. If you more love, you let go of part of the ego, you become brighter, brighter, brighter. Eventually, ego goes away completely and you're all light. And then it's fun. But that takes time. Don't freak out. Don't think about it. Don't try to make it happen. It's going to happen. Just live your life. Do your thing. So yeah, it all has to do with the percentage of how much you can house. And that's why the change that comes is literally a match to that, how much light you have within you. If you have a lot of it, you get a really big, exciting, crazy, wow, I never thought I was going to experience this change. A little bit less, you get a little bit less. It doesn't mean that you're worse. It doesn't mean that you're failing. It just means that at this moment in time, that's all that you can handle. And the body too, because as you're shifting, as you're getting brighter, the body is going to change. You literally get the best version of your body. Disease goes away because energy flows freely. You probably lose weight, because weight a lot of times, guys, is protective mechanism. It once again has to do with the beliefs in you, the ego, the patterns, the programs, all of that, that heaviness. A lot of it has to do with that. The more you let go of that, the lighter you become. You lose weight without even having to exercise. You can eat whatever you want, and you're still losing weight because you're getting lighter. And your body is always like going with you. So the brighter you get, the more the body gets brighter, you change, your appearance changes, you literally glow. People go, oh my God, you're just glowing, because you're brighter, because you are light. Okay, I think I'm done now. All right, guys, I usually don't like to dissect my videos. I'm more like one shot, but this time I have to, because I forgot to talk about this and I think it's important. All right, guys, I love you. I'll see you soon. Ciao.